Previously on He Who Forsakes the Crown.
I'm alive.
You've been unconscious for 6 weeks.
The remnant is missing. Stolen, probably. It was a piece of glass. I don't know what your motive is, but I guarantee it's nothing good.
You will leave this castle.
She's the traitor.
No, she knows it's a fake. That's why I made her leave.
Where is my brother?
He's okay. Nobody is going to hurt him.
And I know how to get him back.
The following story contains adult themes and depictions of violence and trauma. This episode is particularly rougher than our most recent one, so I implore you to check out the episode description for trigger warnings and timestamps. This podcast is not for children. Please be advised.
Again.
Haven't I done enough?
Can you walk? It's so strange to see you like this.
What? You aren't used to it by now.
That was different. I've seen you sleep, but it's rare to see you awake and stuck in bed.
It's been days since I awakened, and I've been put on the most rigorous fitness regimen possible. Or I would have been if I could stand.
But you've done this before, don't you remember?
What?
You were much younger then.
Oh, right.
You were a very sickly child.
I was not.
And you'd get defensive just like that. But you survived. Did you not?
He looks different from back then. Hair that was once long and tangled is now washed and cut cleanly. There is no dirt under his nails, and there are no bags under his eyes. That day he looked so foreign. I remember staring at him, examining him from my bed, where I couldn't move, couldn't speak.
Where is he? Oh, Zany. Are you okay? It's all right. It's all right. Are you the one who... Thank you so much for bringing my son back to me. He's such a fool playing in the forest like that. What was it again that bit him? I was so afraid he was gone. How could I ever repay you?
Snake.
What? You're saying he was bit by a snake? Oh dear, I need to speak with the doctor.
He will be fine. Venom is gone.
Whatever you did, thank you so much. I'll never be able to make it up to you. Whatever you like, I'll make sure it's delivered.
They told me you can't speak. Foolish boy. You had no business being in the woods. It's good to see that you're alive. You'll be bedridden for the next few days. What? Do you want me to tell you? There it is. Doesn't look much different from ours, does it? Took quite a bit of convincing to get my hands on it. They were willing to war over it. All that for a silly rock. I know, I'm the same. Legends say these stones carry the goddess's power inside them, yet for hundreds of years, not a glimpse of it has been seen. They agreed to keep them separate out of fear they'd be too powerful together. I doubt they carry any power at all. But son, it doesn't matter if they carry power or not. The point is, the others believe they do. You cannot let other kingdoms believe they're ruling unchecked. They're nothing compared to us. They cannot have something that we don't. We must conquer anything sought after. It's a world of snakes out there, Zane. You're much less likely to be bitten if they're the ones cowering.
Good. You're getting better.
It doesn't feel like it.
It does not matter what it feels like. I'm telling you. You may accept it, or you may keep complaining.
I have something to show you.
Is it important?
No, I just want to waste your time and agitate you.
All right.
Sayoko.
Okay.
You're gonna like it.
Am I?
Listen, you put me in charge of training and I have delivered excellent results.
God.
Up. Me first. Kisame, do the thing.
Now?
Yes, now.
Okay, if it doesn't work.
I swear to Enyo.
Fine!
By the gods. How did you do that?
I don't know. It was like this thread that kept tugging at the back of my head, and eventually I got agitated at something and accidentally set a barrel on fire.
See?
That's 1 of 9.
That's the first time someone's used it without being on the brink of death.
Fair. Good job. All right then. Keep going.
Time passes quickly after the barn. 1 village turns to 2, which turns to 3, and eventually we're almost through with the north. The lords treat me kinder and I'm more prone to keeping my mouth shut. Rather than animosity, I'm treated with bitter indifference, by most. I also don't like being alone for long, so I spend more time in town. People watching, listening. The needs of the people aren't reflected in the wants of a lord, and I see that here, where the infrastructure is suffering, the walls are thin, and people complain of the increasing cold.
No, go away! Shoot!
Would you like some help?
If you're able, that'd be great. The gate broke right off the hinge, so we have to lift it to move it any. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, thank you so much.
Of course. But don't you think you should fix it? It must be difficult doing that every day.
Yeah, call that my morning warm-up. If only I knew how. My father built it back in the day. Fixing things has never been my forte. Last time I tried, I made it worse.
Haven't you told the Lord? Surely this would be something of interest.
The Lord? The Lord couldn't care less what goes on in my house.
It's her responsibility to make sure all is well within the village.
You don't think she's going door to door, do you? Sorry, I'm being rude. But as long as the money comes in on time, the Lord won't give a damn what goes on around here.
I could send aid, but it won't come for weeks. That's weeks of her lugging that thing around, stressing her back, keeping the cow in. It looks like a wood issue, rather than the hinge. Simpler than anticipated. Doable, even. But that isn't my job, and the last time I tried to handle it myself, I nearly drowned. But there is a fix. Isn't there?
Your Highness, it's good to see you awake.
Captain Kyrie.
You had us all worried there for a moment.
I can never imagine.
I was inquiring on your well-being, Your Highness. Thought it'd be a good idea for me to visit.
Yes, It'd be good for you to face him, Zane. Beneficial for your training.
Bringing Kyrie here must involve some kind of agenda. Does he know?
I heard you've been put on quite the regimen.
I need to be walking before the ball.
Well, that's difficult. Your muscles must have atrophied greatly.
He is doing well. Better than predicted.
Is that so?
Yes. Why don't you show him, Zane?
What?
Show him. Stand up.
You're already on your feet. Huh. That's an accomplishment.
It's as I said. He is doing exceptional.
That isn't...
Don't be modest. Show him.
According to all logic, I cannot stand. I was only able to sit up a few days ago. Trying to stand up is going to end in failure. An embarrassing failure that deems Saren a liar, or it deems me inadequate. He does it on purpose. He knows that failing will upset me, and it'll be equally as pitiful if I tell Kyrie that Saren is lying. Argus? If you're there, I could really use your help, your strength.
What in Demetrius' name do you think you're doing?
I am far too old to be getting struck, and I am far too old for the tear running down my cheek. By now I've been bruised, I've been cut, pushed, kicked. But he never touches my face. It's a bad look for the crown prince to have a swollen cheek. He shouldn't be getting into fights.
What? You're crying now?
I'm not crying.
Don't lie to me. You're a fool, stupid boy. How dare you have an emotional display in front of those guards? Do you want them to think you're weak?
I want to see her.
Never in my life did I think I'd have to have this conversation with you. You, at your status in the world, on his knees, begging a guard.
I want to see her.
You do not beg, Zane Elijah. You will never beg for anything in your life. You're spoiled. If word gets out about you crying and pleading with a mere god, you'll be a laughingstock of the kingdom.
I want to see her!
You can't see her!
Because you won't let me! And you keep those guards stuck at the door all day!
Never show weakness! Do you know what that guard thinks now? That he's above you. He holds power over you. Crying is below your station. He does not fear you anymore. Why would he listen to your orders? What will make him go to war for you? Die for you?
He didn't listen to my orders. He didn't let me in.
He fears me more than you.
You're keeping me away from her.
She is sick! You cannot go near her.
I want to speak with her. I haven't seen her in weeks.
And what do you suppose will happen if you fall ill as well? There's no cure for Will's rash. You'll be stuck in the same place.
It's better than here.
Keep crying then. Let them all know what a mess the royal family is. Let us all fall to ruin, just like you let your sister die. And make yourself decent. We have guests.
Despite it all, I picked myself up.
By the gods. He actually did it.
What? You thought he was lying?
Hey there, you are listening to episode 33 of He Who Forsakes the Crown. Hi guys, welcome to July. It's July 4th, it's always kind of weird putting out an episode today, but you'll get to it when you can. I myself have been on a summer crunch, by the way. For me, last episode only came out about 10 days ago. This is the earliest I've ever wrapped up an episode. But honestly, I'm really excited and I really like how this episode came out. I just feel like there were a lot of good things in the mix. So I hope you're enjoying it. This month, I do have a person to shout out because guys, I got sent a piece of fan art. The most beautiful piece of fan art. I sent it to my voice actors. We were all like kind of shaking. It was created by an artist. Her Instagram handle is nocoats, so Nocoats. She sent me Zayn fan art, guys. It's adorable. It's beautiful. Like, I never get the chance to see stuff like that. And it really just warmed my heart so badly. So much. Thank you so much, Kaita, if that's how you say your name. I'm sorry if it's not. If you too want your name mentioned, you don't gotta do fan art, but you can just message us, leave a rating, post about us, tell your friends. With this episode out, there's 4 episodes left of Hoofsa. Now's your chance to get featured before we all fall off the face of the earth. Anyways, you know the drill at this point. You want to hear more from us, see what we're doing on our downtime, you can follow Chapter 15 Studios on Instagram or TikTok, and then it's CH15 Studios on Twitter. 15 is always the number. Much love from the cast to you. I'm going to let you get back to the rest of the episode, and I will see you next month.
The court is going to be the end of me. They're multiplying, without announcement. They entertain each other far more effectively than I ever could. That is, until they come asking for something that is not nor should ever be my responsibility. It started with food. I've had several requests for specially made meals delivered right to their doors. Then they'll want some kind of wine to pair with it, and I'm expected to play sommelier with a couple of bottles and trivial facts for each kind. I send the servants, of course, but I have to do it every single time. Then, clothing. They're all preparing outfits for the ball. They keep asking me to arrange appointments for them and their designers. I have no idea who they're talking about. I've done it all. I've done it effectively, and I've done it with a smile on my face. Keeping them happy keeps them oblivious, which is all that matters. But the garden parties are sending me over the edge. It started a week ago. The Chancellor appeared behind me and brought up holding some kind of breakfast party to celebrate the court. Of course, I remind him that they are free to do whatever they like, and as a guard, I really have no influence or jurisdiction to hold events.
But I don't know how to do that. It isn't my job. Can't you handle it, little captain? You're very capable.
And so I did it. I got the entire kitchen staff up 2 hours earlier to prepare them a meal. I had the maids prepare the gazebo with the finest china and the freshest flowers. I even tracked down a straggling court poet to perform for them. It was a stunning success. They loved it. They loved it so much that they've been having breakfast parties every single day. The service staff doesn't take kindly to me anymore. What are you doing here?
Patrol. It's my shift.
Right. I haven't been keeping track. She's uncomfortable around me. It would make sense. Especially because she witnessed my outburst at Catalina. It was her group that lost it, though, so she is a suspect. I hope you know that I'm not angry with you. What happened to the remnant was no fault of yours.
Right.
And I hope you don't take my attitude personally. My opinions on your work don't reflect my feelings on your character.
They're relentless, aren't they?
Yeah. You think they'd get bored of it by now.
You'd think they'd actually get some work done while they're here. I don't know what else they'd come home for. Does the prince know they're here?
I haven't told him.
He'll be upset.
That's why I haven't told him.
Ladies?
Shouldn't you be over there?
I saw you two. They'll be fine for a minute.
I don't think they'll notice.
Captain, did you know that the king was supposed to return for the ball?
What are you talking about?
That the king was going to come home next month? You didn't think so. I assumed that's why the colt was coming back.
What do you mean, was supposed to?
They're saying he's not anymore.
Why?
It's hard to tell. Apparently, he's making some kind of deal with Kilahara, but they're being difficult all of a sudden. He's staying longer to make amends.
So he isn't coming home?
Not for a while, no.
Hell.
Captain?
Is it because of us?
What are you talking about?
How can Kilahara be allying itself with DuPont when DuPont sent an infiltration team not 3 months ago?
We made him look bad. We're going to be punished when he gets back.
We were just following orders. It's the prince he should pick a fight with.
Oh, he will. But we'll all go down with him.
Aren't you worried, Cap? Well, there's this, and the remnant is still gone. What if Catalina gets killed out there?
Of course I'm worried. But it doesn't matter. The world isn't going to stop spinning if I worry or not. We're probably going to fail. We can die with shame, or we can die with dignity.
You're hogging all the champagne.
Fixing the fence wasn't very difficult. In fact, I hired a carpenter who was able to handle it in a few hours. Then the carpenter complained of his sick horse slowing down his travels, so I found an animal doctor to take a look. The doctor didn't even want money, just some warm food. The woman with the problem in the first place said she'd be glad to make something, but her vegetables were rotting. So then I had to find the crops from someone else who, rather than taking my money, opted for a trade agreement with her. Milk for vegetables, weekly. Everyone ate stew that night. The experience left me exhausted, but more satisfied than I had been in a while. The common folk are so much kinder than the lords I've met. The experience is nostalgic, sitting by a fire, enjoying my soup, and listening to people laugh.
I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me.
No, I'm glad I could help.
You planning on staying in town for long?
No, we're leaving tomorrow morning. There's still a lot of ground to cover.
Are you guys explorers or something?
No, we've been surveying the entire country.
Survey? Isn't that a capital thing?
Yes?
You're from the capital? Like, from the castle?
You didn't know?
How could I? Every time they come around, they don't even do much as to look at us. They're all over the Lord. Why would I ever think they'd spend their time on me?
You're just as important as any lord.
That's the first time I've heard that one.
Got any threes?
Go fish.
What?
Go fish?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
That I don't have any threes and you need to fish for them?
Kisame, if I ask you for any threes and you don't have them, you say, "No, I don't have any threes."
Are we not playing Go Fish?
Of course we are, but just because it's the name of the game doesn't mean...
Have you ever played Go Fish?
Obviously I have. Wait, what are you saying?
Go Fish.
Go fish? I thought it was goldfish.
You thought it was...
Your Highness, you're awake.
Where is Saren?
He has the day off, Your Highness. We decided to let him rest today.
What time is it?
An hour past noon, Your Highness.
I slept for 15 hours?
You have a tendency to sleep longer than most now. The doctors believe it has to do with your condition.
Right. Am I supposed to just sit here?
There isn't much else to do, Your Highness. If you'd like, we could bring a few books for you.
Where's the captain?
She's been attending to other matters at the moment.
I haven't seen her all week.
She's been very busy. I could fetch her if you'd like.
No, leave her be.
Very well.
Why are you speaking like that?
Like what, Your Highness?
I heard you two earlier. You don't need to censor yourselves. It's boring enough here as it is.
Of course, Your Highness.
This is painful. Have they always been so stiff? Must be my fault. They walk on eggshells around me. They're afraid of me. That's how it's supposed to be. Right.
How are you doing, Your Highness?
I'm in bed.
Yes, but are you feeling better?
I can walk, painfully and slowly.
That's good. I mean, that's better than not walking at all.
I suppose you're right. It's annoying, though.
How so?
You don't think when you walk. It's second nature. But now, it's as if I was never able to do it at all. My mind remembers the motions, but my body can't keep up.
I broke my leg when I was younger. It isn't the same, but when I finally stopped using the splint, I noticed the difference between my working leg and the other. I had a limp for weeks. And, well, I didn't have access to much medicine back then, so I'm sure you'll recover much faster than I ever could.
You were playing cards?
My apologies.
No. Why were you playing a children's game?
You're playing a children's game? I leave the castle in your charge, and this is what you're wasting your time with?
Zareth, he's done all he needs to do for the day. He can have a break.
A break? Do you think I've got to where I am now with breaks?
It's a game of cards, Father. Dahlia's favorite. We're playing in her honor since...
Zareth, you're being outrageous.
Am I outrageous? You enable this kind of behavior in him. He doesn't deserve the luxury of games when he treats life like it's a game. He is wasteful. He is wasting his life just like he did his sister's.
Stop it! Stop blaming him. He's just a child.
He is grown.
He is your son. Darling, I know you feel guilty for not being there. I think about it every day. It haunts me. But it was not his fault. He was in just as much danger. You don't want to lose yourself to your grief. She's gone, but he's still here. You still have a child that loves you.
And I do love him. That's probably the worst part. That I can't hate him. After all of it.
Your Highness?
Why play that?
That's the only game he knows how to play.
That isn't true. I know how to play solitaire.
You're a grown man. Don't you think it's time you learn something else?
I don't get the chance to play often.
Today's your lucky day, then. Pass the deck.
In my palm, the stone grew warm. Not the remnant, no. The amulet. These are expensive, and the further the distance between the two, the shorter the time one has to speak. That's why I had scheduled the call so specifically, when they'd be far enough along for any significant news, but close enough to home that we could talk without limitations. If everything has been going to plan for them, the call should come any night. I hope they're doing all right. I couldn't give her much preparation before sending her out. If she makes a mess of things out there, everything I've been doing here will all be for nothing.
Captain? Are you there?
Jacob, I'm here.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
It's good to hear from you.
Likewise.
We're heading into Calais tomorrow. It's planned.
You're almost done. How have things been going? Not good?
At the beginning, yes. There was a lot. A couple of fights, asshole lords, the works.
Is everything all right?
Yes, everything is fine. She's actually kind of blossomed into it. I don't know, something's going on with her. She has me running around doing petty tasks everywhere. She helped plant a vegetable garden today.
What?
Exactly, but the villagers love that she's paying attention to them. She hasn't fought with the Lord since, which is a plus. But I promise, we're fine.
That's such a relief.
How are you?
Everything is well here.
I'm asking about you, Sayoko. I know you're the one who got the short end of the stick here. Are you doing okay? Honestly?
I'm tired.
I can imagine. You know, you get all panicky whenever something doesn't go with the plan. You don't have to completely shut down.
Do you think I'm choosing to be like this?
No, of course not. But things look worse than they are when you don't take care of yourself.
Things are pretty bad either way.
Right. They probably are.
The prince woke up.
What? And you didn't start with that? When? How is he?
He's alive. It's almost been 2 weeks. I've had him put in rehabilitation. He can't walk.
That could be problematic.
I'm sure he'll pull it together, given his recovery rate.
Rilliane is going to be so happy to hear that. I bet he's pissed that you sent her away.
I wouldn't know. I've been avoiding him.
I would have never expected that.
There are too many things to explain at this point. It's easier to run. Besides, it's not like he can chase me.
They're going to be so upset that we talk without them.
I'm not going to tell him, but good luck with her.
They're losing their power already.
Of course. We should conserve them just in case of emergencies. You know where you're going. Please, if anything happens...
You're the first person I'll send for.
Right. Please be safe.
Sayoko. I know you're doing this all for the castle and, well, for him. Just make sure to do some things for yourself every once in a while, okay?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
You already agreed to it, and it'll really help them.
What am I supposed to even say?
Didn't you teach at an academy?
You want me to teach them sword fighting?
I don't know. Self-defense. They just want to feel a little safer. I would teach them if I could.
Fine. I'll make it up as I go.
I'm almost done. It's strange. It's as if time is passing twice as fast now. The villages blur together as my productivity increases. I don't know why I didn't see it sooner. I've been so focused on doing my duty, following the captain's orders, and listening to whatever lord was around. But I used to live a life not very different from these people. They deserve so much more than what's given. I'll do my best to make them happy.
Why are you so smiley?
Oh my goddess! You have no self-regard. I told you not to contact me. He looked different. Scary. His hair is unkempt and his eyes are dark and wild. Still, he's undisturbed.
What, you think I'm gonna get caught? Sorry to break it to you, but your pretty boy over there seems distracted.
There are others.
I know. They're good friends of mine. Do you know where you are right now? This village was built only 12 years ago. It was made entirely from the ashes of my hometown. People I loved died that day. We went up in flames. That's why I think we're pretty similar. We've both handled unnecessary loss at the hands of something outside of our control. You understand the pain, the need for justice.
I'll never understand you.
I'm leaving.
What?
Come with me. Don't you feel better, Annie? Out here? You're helping real people. You're doing all this good for them, but you're doing it under the wrong name. You can do so much more with us by your side.
You can't threaten to kill me one day and then ask me to run away with you the next.
Haven't I bought you peace?
You flung me out of a tower.
It's dangerous to be involved with him.
With you.
It was never my intention to hurt you, you know that. You don't want him. He's a killer. Without remorse.
You've killed two.
My father was one of the kindest men around. He was so poor, and it didn't matter to him at all. He used to send foods to shelters. He shared his meals with street cats. He used to visit orphanages, put on puppet shows. And every year on my birthday, he'd save up enough money to give me a cake. And do you know what happened to him? They left his body in the streets. They gutted him, stripped him, and let animals eat his corpse. That wasn't the king either. That was all Zane. I don't like death, Annie. I don't sleep easy doing the things I've done. I'm sick of watching people get hurt, but with you, you change everything. This could end without meaningless death. Your mere presence on our side would break him. He'll go easily. And after, you could do anything you like. We'll get your brother, if that's what you really want.
His eyes are soft and pleading. It's sad. He's a deeply pained man who wasn't shown much kindness. And I'm the cruel one for what comes next. Jared, I will never align myself with your cause. And I would rather you kill me now.
I won't kill you. You'll play a different part.
I won't.
I wasn't asking.
He Who Forsakes the Crown is an audio drama written and produced by Chapter 15 Studios, starring the vocal talents of Eric Smith, Julia Orsborn, and Chara Lynn. Other featured voices including EJ De Jesus, Bella Cherish, Azakayla Aaron Redfire, Levi Coulter, Anthony Rodriguez, Deshaun Ricks, Amy Chulgin, Rodrigo Tamayo, Dante Majors, Ray Walker, and Cassius Hodges. Thank you for tuning in to this month's episode of He Who Forsakes the Crown. We will return with episode 34 on August 4th. See you then.